and putting it in the container.
Right.
And then it was a mess. And then he left to go and wash his hands or whatever. But he was in great conversation, always a smile on his face. According to me, while I was watching, he didn't do anything to offend anybody. He didn't pick a fight with anybody.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't. He was just. He's like a magnet. What he says and what he does, the others love it. They intrigued in what he's doing all the time, and he pulled them straight because. And I wrote here, Suleiman swinging the whole table with persuasion, just like that.
Mm-hmm.
Just by putting something out there.
He knew Play-Doh.
Yeah, so you need new Play-Doh, and your measurement wasn't very accurate.
It wasn't?
No. The child would stand there because I laughed at you and you also did that. So the child is here and then you go and then you put the thing more or less there, but then
well, because they're named.
Down. You bent it.
Oh, because
you bent it down. So most of them are, I think, about this much.
Higher?
Lower than what they should be.
Okay. Because when you left, I thought of a better way to do it. I just marked them.
Yeah.
And then I put the tape.
Yes.
It was.
Because then you can mark with a pen really straight, like this, right? Instead of like that. That's what you ended up doing.
Okay.
Because that one little girl, she's taller. She's nearly the tallest. She's actually taller than anybody that you had there.
Which one?
She was towards the end. More to the middle.
Yeah, I don't know.
And she was so tall, but she's actually taller than anybody else that was there.
Maybe Nora.
Yeah. And she's still compared her with one boy said, so are you shorter or taller than him? Do you think?
Oh, Sharif? No. She's the same as Kareem.
No.
Salwa.
If you measured her correctly, you'd see that she's taller. Because even when they stand next to each other, she's this much higher than me. Well, that's from my angle.
Right.
I was.
I'll have to watch
So
it.
have a look at
I was struggling with the tape.
If you
I didn't know. And then it's funny because right when you left, I'm like, it clicked. Like, I'm like, oh, I'm going to take a marker and I'm going to do it. And then I'm going to, like, instead of
then it's
measuring
very
with the
easy
tape.
to measure, yeah.
So, I did that with Faye, I think. But
And a couple of them, you forgot
I'll
to let them stand with their feet right against the back. So, but still, it looks cool and it's great. And you can turn those into flowers.
And they were
very intrigued.
flowers.
Yeah, you can turn it into a flower with their face.
I like that.
But like for instance with that, I saw the Unifix block thing was not very successful because they didn't have time. You had too many. That's maybe something that you can follow up
later.
with.
Yeah.
Like first just this, and then tomorrow they could come. Okay, so now we are going to put these together and see how many does it take to make yours, and you can write the number.
That's why I ixnayed that. I just well, that's not working. We'll just leave these here if you want to
see. That's how
kind
you
of
adjust your lesson. But what I liked was that they could estimate by you asking them the questions and everything. They could see it with where they were. They could feel it when you were measuring them. So it was very good. And I heard vocabulary like, which color do you like? What color is this? How tall is this? Tall, short, long, taller, longer, shorter, less, more. You were asking very good questions there while they were both. So that I really liked, and it was very good to see Tagriq using calm and positive reinforcement during the time. She had a very lovely conversation with Sharifa. She lost it a little bit when Suleiman walked out the room.
Right.
And you'll see also during she forgot that you were recording. So in front of the recording, she kept on saying, oh my God, look at this mess, look at my mess. So you'll see when she forgot about the video clip.
Well, that's good though. Like, that's good to see, if she forgot,
Yeah, and I loved that you did with the funny face, happy face, sad face, and then the story that you read, and that you asked them, so what makes you sad and what makes you happy, before you read. And I wrote excited face. Oh, it was when you asked them all to show what does excited face look like. That was really, really cute. And so your routines are pretty much in place. You still had 2 boys on the carpet that were not really sitting. Mohammed. Is it Mohammed? You mentioned his name a couple of times.
But he's normal. Yeah, he just had an off day.
Yeah.
He's normally he's normally fine, but he's a follower.
Yeah.
But he was, if you notice too, he was going over to the faces that were on the board, and that's, at first I didn't realize what he was doing, and then I realized
showing you.
He was showing me what he was like. Oh, that's the same. And I'm like, okay. And then I kind of back, because at first I'm like, Mohammed, please sit down, and I didn't realize what he was doing. And that's one thing that I feel like I've gotten better with too, is realizing and not jumping to conclusions before something happens. Because even the other day, Suleiman, he broke on accident because he was just excited. Jana's, she had a rubber toy. It was a rubber ring toy. And he broke it, and she was crying, and he kind of didn't know what to do, because he didn't do it on purpose. And she was saying, he broke my toy, Suleiman broke my toy, and I'm like, well, what can you do, Suleiman? How can you, what do you need to do? And he said, I'm sorry. And then they were playing, and he had an idea. He had his Mickey Mouse, and he went to his cubby, and at first I'm like, nope, Suleiman, you need to leave your toy in your cubby. And then he said, no, but I want to give it
he wanted
yes,
like that. Oh, that's action.
Yeah, and he wanted, and he's like, to make her feel, and he even said, to make her feel better. I want to give her my Mickey Mouse so she feels better. And at first I was like, Suleiman, no, I was just jumping because, those things and that reaction. But then I kind of stepped back, and I'm like, oh, he's actually
how wonderful is that? That's really, really, really. Why was he with Sinead?
Yeah, they are, because on Tuesday he bit me because he was upset that he couldn't have 7 toys in the classroom, because I said, okay, choose one. And so he had an episode, and he just screaming you would have thought someone was really, really hurt. So he was screaming, so I let him calm. People were coming down. Kate came from her classroom and was like, is everything okay? And because I was just sitting with him, letting him calm down, letting him scream, because there was nothing, he wasn't hearing me. I wasn't gonna do anything. And so I let him calm down, and then we talked about it, and he wanted his, we went for a walk because he needed to get out of that environment. And so then I explained to him, we can't have 7 toys in the classroom, and then he started again. And it took about 40 minutes to calm him down. Because too, they've been bringing toys, and his mom even said, well, he cries and he screams, so we just give him the toys. And so he's not used to someone telling him no. So we just kind of eased into it. And the other day the same thing happened. He came crying because Nanny said, nope, only choose 1 toy. And she said he was crying the whole way to school. And I said, that's okay. That's fine. To letting them know that it's okay for them to cry and upset, that's showing emotion, that's showing empathy, that's showing, that he cares. Yeah, he cares about that, but he also has to know that he has to follow the rules. So And he was upset with me, and he was screaming for his nanny. And so I closed the door, and he was running towards the door, and I said, Suleiman, you need to go, like, let's go read a book. So we were reading Calm Down Time, and he didn't like that I was trying to read to him, so because I sat down, and he bit me and left a bruise on my leg. So, and the day before that, like, he hit me, and, like, no, because I told him, like, this is not the way that we're going to act, like, let's redirect.
Oh, Angie.
Yeah, so, I mean, it was fine, and then so I let Jean Marie know, and then Mom too, and then they were like, he can't be leaving bruises on the teacher or on kids too, because he is squeezing kids' faces, and we're teaching, and that's what he's in Shanae's room for, is for the teaching. Like, it's not a punishment, it's not a, you did this, you're gonna go here. It's a teaching time of, if you do this, this is what can happen. And he needs that one-on-one, I feel. And that's what I told Jean Marie and Shanae. I said he needs, and we can give that to him, but not 100%. So we need somebody else to come in and maybe pull him, or to come in. And they thought all last week, Jean Marie and Shanae observed him and was seeing what he needed and what was happening. And a lot of it is that he's used to adults. He's not used to playing with kids, so he doesn't know how to act with them, because
so he's a little bit rough.
Yeah.
But I mean, even if he's used to adults, he shouldn't be doing to you anything to you to harm you. So that's putting you in a very difficult position.
Yeah. So, and yesterday we saw him even, like, squeezing his cheeks, like, really hard. Like, he just wants that touch, that sensory. And so, like, we tried the squishy ball, we did all of those things, and they're working, but it's just going to take time. So, the sensory. And I want to, like, tell Mom, too, like, he's not being punished. Like, we're teaching. Like, and we just needed that one-on-one, somebody else. Because in a big group, he can't focus.
She knows what to do.
Yeah. And Jean Marie, too. Like, she was very knowledgeable on what, like, was happening. Because kids are going home, too. Like, this is why kids are going home and saying, Suleiman hurt me. And I have to explain to parents, like, that he's not hurting. We're teaching. Like, we're just teaching how to control our bodies. Because there's parents that wrote emails and have been complaining that their child is being hurt. Or
how old is he?
He's not even 3 yet. He's still 2.
Really?
He's a preemie. I found that out today.
He's
a preemie. Yeah. Normally, preemies normally look younger too, but he's only, so he's like even, but Shanae and I were talking today, like, him being a preemie, and two, she said he's brilliant, like, making connections. And he was reading the story, they were and he didn't even know, like, she was going to choose between 2 books, and he chose the one that we don't bite or whatever, and our teeth are not for biting. And he didn't even know, and she wasn't even telling him, like, don't bite, like Miss Angie. It was just kind of just a story. And she was very interested, like, he knew that, like, you could just tell on his face, like, oh, like, she knows that I bit Miss Angie. But, like, she didn't do it, like, she didn't say anything, like, oh, like, you know, it was just conversational. And she said it was really interesting how he connected some of the story to, like, in the classroom. Like, when Miss Angie says to use our words. And, like, he connected that, even, like, that teeth and, like, eating and, like, just mouth, just in general, Miss Angie says to use our words and not our hands.